Well, thank you so much. Thanks for everyone being with me today, and thanks for having me come to speak about Fusion Analytics Warehouse. So my name is Ben Stockman. I've been with Oracle close to 9 years now, actually predating any of our cloud analytics solutions. And it's been a pretty exciting journey throughout our transition to the cloud. But I think what's most exciting and promising as we look towards the future is really our Fusion Analytics offering. It's really highly differentiated in the market and really puts our application customers, Oracle application customers, at a strategic competitive advantage. This is titled What's New with Oracle Analytics, Fusion Analytics Warehouse. So I will be talking about a number of roadmap items, both near and long term. So Oracle Safe Harbor statement here, as some of these roadmap items are subject to change. But I also think it's very important to understand how we are continuously building and improving on this product over time. So while Fusion Analytics is relatively new, released in 2019, the core foundational components of Oracle Analytics Cloud and Autonomous Data Warehouse have been well established in the market for some time here. What's unique about FAW or Fusion Analytics is that we offer a pre-built and complete turnkey analytics solution for the Oracle SaaS application customer base. Specifically, what I mean by that is a pre-built and Oracle managed data pipeline. We take the data out of Fusion, we transform it, we put it into a star schema in the database, we validate that data, and then we populate a presentation layer and a data model to deliver content, dashboards, KPIs, et cetera. We also offer the pre-built security framework, meaning it's going to inherit those user job and application roles within that source application. So ensuring all of the data that's presented to end users is in context and really making it as quickly and as actionable as possible. Yesterday, there was an Oracle Live event with Steve Miranda and TK Anand announcing the new release of Fusion Analytics for supply chain. But there was a quote that I wanted to reiterate here. While many of our customers are making that transition to the cloud, maybe investing in Oracle Cloud applications for the first time, these are becoming the system of record in your organization. And now Fusion Analytics is the system of insight in direct response to that. And I think why this is so exciting at the end of the day is now we really cover the complete spectrum of analytics solutions. Today talking about the Office of Finance. OTBI is going to deliver. OTBI is the built-in reporting within each of our cloud applications. And that really delivers that tactical real-time reporting that's required to run the business. Fusion Analytics complements that by delivering some of the more strategic analysis like historical trending, hierarchical reporting, predictive analytics, and analysis across multiple different Fusion subject areas, pre-joined and connected right away out of the box. And so Fusion Analytics Warehouse and OTBI are really one complete solution. And of course, we have Oracle EPM, right? And that delivers many of the finance-specific functions that organizations require. And a little bit later today, we're going to talk about how EPM fits into the Fusion Analytics Warehouse ecosystem. So what's new and exclusive to Fusion Analytics is this concept of KPI cards. So each card not only gives you a snapshot of your business at a high level, but also represents a much detailed dashboard behind the scenes to drill down into specific business areas. So not only do you get the KPI and the data point, but you're going to get, how does it compare to our value or our target that we've defined as a benchmark? With some alerting capabilities at the top. Hey, are we in red, yellow, green? How are we performing against that target? And then how is that trending compared to this quarter last year, this time last month, right? So that detailed historical trending, that's really well suited because we take the data out of a transactional system and we store it in a way for our customers that's really optimized for that type of analytical reporting. On the bottom here, you see a little sign for discussion threads. This is really increasing in a remote world that we live in now in this remote conference, right? we can use this discussion capability to collaborate with our peers. And as comments are added, Oracle actually takes a snapshot of what that data looks like at that given point in time. So if someone doesn't get to respond to the comment until later in the day or the next day, they have a snapshot of that data that shows exactly what we were talking about when we entered the comment. So really facilitating this, actionable insights driven by a set of KPIs that drive your business. This is a sample set. This is not exhaustive, but just to show the breadth of KPIs that we deliver out of the box today for Fusion HCM. So you can see here, it's pretty wide across workforce, diversity, inclusion, internal mobility, performance, and goals. And this increases on a quarterly basis. So as a Fusion Analytics customer, as we deliver more content becomes available for you on a quarterly basis. Here's a snapshot of KPIs here for our Fusion Analytics for ERP. Started off with the GL, AR, AP core financials. And, of most recent releases, we've moved into the spend, employee expenses, and procurement areas of the business. On the right here, we just have some common use cases. I think what's interesting about the way we're approaching Fusion Analytics is it's not just a set of do-it-yourself tools and technologies, right? But we're connecting the business use cases with the tools and technologies. And we're really only able to do that because of our intimate knowledge of the source applications that we're getting this data from. So aside from just pure KPIs, some common use cases that our organizations, leverage day in and day out, working capital analysis, getting that holistic view and drilling down from that KPI down to the subledger details, right? We provide access to the subledger, Oracle subledgers. And we do so because we inherit the chart of accounts, the hierarchies and dimensions that you define within your Oracle Cloud Financials instance. Another thing is looking at the trending, right? We're talking about historical trending, predictive trending, in looking at payables and receivables efficiencies, can be improved by really getting a detailed visibility into those trends. So some relevant KPIs supporting this use case. Moving on to profitability and cost drivers, getting that both top line and bottom line trend to the lowest level of granularity that you might want to look or see. We also say here in the third bullet, combine HR, supply chain data. Obviously, if you own HCM or supply chain cloud, we do deliver this as a single data model across all of our core applications. But if you don't have Oracle HCM or supply chain, we can certainly extend to those third-party applications. You do need an Oracle Cloud application, be it ERP, supply chain, or HCM, to really get the value of this product, but you don't need them all. You can certainly bring in your own industry-specific data or your own, maybe competitor, third-party data provider, for any of the other lines of business. And, I think with the most recent release of Fusion ERP, we delivered spend analytics, which has been incredibly popular for our customer base. So feedback just from our customers, directly from their mouths, the ability to look at this total spend at the aggregate level across all suppliers in a single dashboard, and then drill down into certain areas of inefficiency or areas of efficiency to increase that trajectory has been a very, very positive feedback from our customer base. And this is just an example of an additional release that our Fusion Analytics for ERP customers got, just by the nature of our release cycle here. One thing to note is that we also support the ability to drill all the way back into the SaaS application itself. So you can start at that KPI, drill all the way down, and then drill back into the application itself if you notice that a change needs to be made. And we really streamline that process because we're inheriting the job roles and duties that are defined within that application. So not only is it gonna show you the relevant data that you need as you have security to within that core application, but it's also going to allow that tight integration and seamless transition back and forth between the analytic dashboards and the application itself.
Ben, I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you happen to catch the question?
Oh, let me go back one. I will check it right now.
It's, are the ERP and HCM Fusion Analytics two different licenses, SKUs that must be purchased?
Yes, that's a great question. And they are different SKUs. So we will ultimately have 5 SKUs if we include NetSuite. Each SKU will be a functional area. So ERP and HCM are available today. They are standalone SKUs, and supply chain was announced yesterday, very hot off the press, and will be available come December. CX, or customer experience, will be coming following supply chain. So the reason there are different SKUs is because, in an ideal world, it's an Oracle customer has all of our applications, but we realize that that's not the reality. So we wanted our customer base to take advantage of, which cloud applications, they do own today. And if they own all, obviously the value grows as it is a single data model across all of these applications, but not exclusive to needing to own all of them. So hopefully that answers the question. And so, what all of this means, this pre-built advantage, right? It means that you can really spend more time with your data and less time, managing and trying to make sense of that data. Getting data out of Fusion is quite challenging, right? And if our customer base can offload some of that work to Oracle to run and maintain, many organizations are seeing the benefit of that. It allows you to bring in your own industry specific, your own customer data, and fine tune that data foundation to what you need. But if Oracle's going to deliver all of this, optimize it, transform, and really put it in a place for what I would like to say true business user self-service, that's a huge advantage. So, a couple bullets here. Native integration, we talked about that. Extremely fast performing since this is built on our autonomous database. All of these KPIs ready to use. And I think most importantly, we ensure that it stays in sync with every cloud application release, right? So before we release a new ERP or HCM upgrade on a quarterly basis, we're running the scripts, we're validating that Fusion Analytics is going to work seamlessly throughout that release cycle. So making sure that you're not going back and making sure that some link in the chain didn't break as part of that upgrade process, really kind of make sure that there's no downtime in your reporting and analytic environment. And the best for last, we're seeing our organizations turn this on, implement it, get it up and running with everything out of the box within around 6 weeks, which I think is really unprecedented for most data warehouse or analytics projects. And so very often we get the question, hey, this is great, but I have this other data source. We still have some of our data on EBS on premise. We actually have Workday for HR. We have ADP for payroll. What does that mean for me and my organization? And I think this speaks to the true benefit of Oracle as an application and a technology infrastructure platform as a service organization. Because as with Fusion Analytics, we deliver the best of both worlds. Everything on the left here in red, as I've been talking about, pre-built, Oracle managed, Oracle maintained, don't need to worry about it. But at the same time, since it's built on the foundation of Oracle Analytics Cloud and Autonomous Data Warehouse, you have the full flexibility to bring in any other data sources, create custom schemas in the database, extend the data model, create new hierarchies, new facts, new dimensions, anything that you'd want to do to build out that foundation that we deliver out of the box. And then, of course, create your own dashboards, custom KPIs, and analyses there. And since this is a Hyperion conference, I wanted to talk about EPM because that's probably the most common extensibility use case that we see with Fusion Analytics. I get the question a lot, hey, why isn't EPM native pre-built, as part of your Fusion Analytics offering? And I think the reality is all of our customers deploy EPM, since it's an umbrella term, in a variety of different ways. And it's hard for us to commit to managing and maintaining that in the seamless fashion that we do for the core applications. What we do is provide a variety of ways to easily bring in that EPM data to support your analysis. And once you have the pre-built Oracle financial data model with all of your hierarchies and dimensions, mashing up other data through common attributes is relatively easy. So we have sort of two recommended areas to connect to that EPM data. We do provide a direct application connector where with your username and password, you can create a direct connection and federate a query and grab that data in real time. So we offer that for both Essbase and EPM Cloud. Very, very powerful and very quick, even from a business user, to go grab some of that data to support analysis. Other customers, they choose to put their budget back into Fusion Financials. If that's the case, we do inherit that and as part of the pre-built pipeline, and you can get variance analysis out of the box with that as well. A more, I would say, standardized and scalable option would be to use the EPM automate function and bring that data into a custom schema, as I've shown here on the blue side. And that's just maybe a more scalable, more long-term option. I think it all comes down to the volume of data that you're trying to bring in and analyze, and ultimately the frequency of that data. So, like I said, yesterday, Steve Miranda and TK Anand announced the upcoming release of Fusion Analytics for supply chain, which is really going to be starting with order management and inventory. We've seen this as very important for a lot of our customer base. As we know, order management and inventory ties very closely back to finance analysis. So very exciting release that we're expecting here before the end of the calendar year. Also on that timeline, we're expecting some improvements, enhancements on the ERP side, moving into the fixed assets and projects areas. And then with HCM, we're going to continue our build with compensation, absence and accruals, profile and skills. So the reason I wanted to show this at the sort of high level is the amount of content and development work that our teams are doing to continuously build this out. And as I mentioned before, if you're a Fusion Analytics for ERP or HCM customer, all of these releases, all of this new content gets delivered at no additional charge. So double clicking onto some of these functional areas, as we look at supply chain here, as I mentioned, we're focusing on that order management inventory. We're going to continue that build out through the rest of the calendar year. And then as we look towards the future, focusing on manufacturing analytics, fulfillment, manufacturing inventory, PLM, and this is going to continuously grow over time. On the ERP side, continue, phase 1 of projects and fixed assets, followed by phase 2 of projects and fixed assets. And then looking into the future, your own custom subledgers with Fusion Accounting Hub, advanced collections, budgetary controls for some of our public sector customers. And I think what's worth noting is a lot of these enhancements, a lot of these developments, are certainly deemed and decided by Oracle in terms of best practices, but also customer driven in terms of understanding what matters most to them, what they need for their business, what they really think would drive them forward. So, it's that two-prong approach between our own research, as well as the feedback from all of our application customers across North America and, quite frankly, the globe, that's dictating our roadmap, which is very exciting. It's a true collaboration with the product team and with our customer base. So I mentioned this Oracle Live event yesterday a few times. I think it was a great event. Just hearing from the head of our applications development and the head of our analytics development, but also from our customers. We heard from the CIO of Corsair, Tom Cullen, and the VP of HR and the CHRO from UPMC, talking about their specific journey with analytics and ultimately, the value that they've realized in short order here. I see a Q&A, so I'm going to check that. HIPAA certified. Yes. So, since this is based on our autonomous database, that is HIPAA certified, as well as our Oracle Analytics Cloud. So what's nice about this is we've taken those, well-established foundational elements traditionally looked at from a platform as a service perspective, bundled it, prepackaged it, and delivered this unique benefit for our application customers. So that's what's, I think kind of this best of both worlds type situation here. So
I'm Emily Sakar.
Wanted to show a quick demo from that event. I do encourage all of you to take a look at it, but wanted to show you guys, sort of our vision and the demonstration we delivered yesterday in terms of what we're doing with Fusion Analytics. So I have a quick 4-minute demo I wanted to share with all of you today.
With the Oracle Analytics team. Today, we're sharing a short demo showing you where Oracle is taking analytics so you can move beyond asking what happened to predicting the future of your business.
Uh-oh, we have a predicted shortage.
Okay.
Take a look.
It's a classic story. Social reviews turn a product, in this case a scooter, into the hottest thing for the holidays. New demand is great, but with the strain on global supply chains, it also creates challenges.
Oracle, show me total actual and predicted revenue for scooters, but not mopeds for the last 2 years.
That's an impressive spike. If we can meet the demand for the holidays, we'll have a lot of happy customers.
Oracle, also show me a stacked bar chart by product with predicted revenue and profits for this year. Yep, the Ultra is the most profitable.
So what revenue is at risk if we can't execute?
Well, let's see. We've got a lot riding on the Ultra.
It could definitely put us over the top this year.
But what's inventory look like? Oracle, show me orders and inventory for just the Ultra scooter.
Wow, I don't think we can get enough scooters from China in time.
We should go take a closer look.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, see here, back orders and fulfillment lead times have been rising. ML predicts high demand in all scenarios. Let's do this one and solve for 45,000 units at 50% confidence.
Okay, I already know new orders will take months, plus ocean freight is slow and expensive right now. Can you ping Vic?
Okay, hey Vic, the Ultra is selling through the roof.
Hey Sandra, hey Luis. Guess we weren't prepared for this.
Nope, we're gonna miss out on a lot of revenue if we don't get more product.
Well, I might have an idea. Here, let me share. I'm wondering, maybe we could convert other models into Ultras. Check it out. You see, these are the scooters that have a lot of overlapping components. The digital display is really the only thing that's unique. Hey Oracle, show me current and planned availability for Demons, Electrics, and Ultra products in the US by month.
And where's the inventory?
I gotcha. Right there. Okay, so between Seattle and Memphis, we have an inventory of about 95,000 Demons and Electrics.
Good, that's enough to meet our forecast for all 3 models. So what about the Ultra displays?
Take a look here at my analysis for display suppliers. So Jancorp in Mexico doesn't have the lowest unit cost, but they are solid on delivery time. And just because I can, let's look at their inventory and capacity.
Looks like they can turn around all the displays we need.
Okay, now let's figure out where the people are who can do the conversion. Check it out. Dynamic skills in HCM Cloud. It shows electronic assembly skills in Austin and Phoenix.
But the candidate pool from Recruiting Cloud shows that Austin's much better in case we need to add extra people or shifts.
Let's go with Austin then. Luis, order those displays.
Doing it now. And I'll ping Austin to get the ball rolling on conversion.
All right, awesome.
Awesome.
Let's keep our eyes out for updates.
Talk soon.
Great work.
So that was a quick look at where Oracle is taking analytics. You saw new ways of working with data. You saw.
So I'll pause it there, but there's a few highlights I wanted to show from that quick demonstration, right? One was that ability to drill right back into the Oracle application itself from the analytics. Another was our natural language capabilities, something that we're focusing very highly on within the platform, right? So obviously we saw natural language search where you can just type in the data that you're looking and we'll pre-populate the visualizations and dashboards. But we also have natural language generation. So
I'm Emily Sikowski with the Oracle Analytics.
Very often within the FP&A function, you know, some feedback I've gotten is you create a stunning visualization, and then, you know, you have to free type a number of text to explain what that visualization is to the broader audience. So now with our natural language generation, you can take a visualization, you can duplicate it, and you can actually change that to natural language so that the tool is smart enough to actually explain in text what the corresponding visualization is actually showing. So just one of the ways that we're embedding machine learning and artificial intelligence within the analytics platform. Another thing that we saw was a number of predictive analysis, forward-looking analysis. What's the demand going to look like? And we really do enable business user self-service with that type of one-click advanced analytics. I'd like to say that, you know, sort of our machine learning strategy is for all tiers within the business. We offer this invisible machine learning like natural language, explaining the root cause on data attributes, but then also more complex for the analysts who want to run their own machine learning algorithms that we embed within the platform in a number of clicks. Or for your, you know, if you do have data scientists within the organization, we do support that level of complex machine learning that we offer within our autonomous database in our Oracle machine learning library. So just wanted to unpack some of the stuff that we quickly saw in that demonstration, but really following along the lines of, you know, presenting actionable data to the business to make more well-informed decisions here. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm hoping that some of you walk away thinking that Fusion Analytics really can help you in your analytics journey, right? We deliver that data foundation if you're an Oracle Cloud customer right out of the box, and we make sure it's in sync. We give you all these KPIs directly so that you can look at your business in aggregate, maybe some areas you might not think to look at initially. One of our customers had a very interesting quote that said, you know, we like trends, but not just within friends, right? Meaning we need to understand what the data is telling us, not necessarily what we want to look for or want to know. And I think the ability to do that in the platform is very powerful. Once you have that foundation set, you can extend to other data sources. You can bring in additional data, benchmark data, weather data. I've seen COVID data be used with our customer base, but even something as simple as localized spreadsheets. And then take advantage of the power of the platform to really do more with your data. Once that we know the data is accurate, we know the data is curated and modeled appropriately, it allows your business to then, you know, be more innovative and start using more and more machine learning and advanced analytics to differentiate your own business. So that's all I had. It was very quick. Hopefully this was beneficial. Feel free to shoot me an email at any time with any questions. I support a sales specialist team that covers all of North America for Fusion Analytics, so I can certainly help any and all of you out. And also feel free to add me on LinkedIn. I'm very active, often sharing our Fusion Analytics blogs, you know, industry reports, relevant information or data that you may find interesting to you and your organization. So with that, I'll pause. If there's any additional questions, I'd be happy to share.
Don't see anything else coming through.
Okay. Well, if something comes up after the fact, like I said, feel free to shoot me a line. I'm always happy and to talk about Fusion Analytics.
Well, thank you so much, Ben. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks, Trisha. And thanks
Yep,
all
have a
for
good one.
participating today.